You got to be if you want to up level your life. Check whom I have back in the studio. Of course, Diana Grant, my dear friend, fabulous speaker, a very talented author, and incredible self love coach. Diana, I'm so happy to have you back at our monthly show on self love.
I'm so happy to be back, Olga. Thank you, thank you. I love the way you introduced me. It's good to be here.
You know what? It's always a pleasure to have you back. And I was missing last month
Mm.
not to have our show because of my honeymoon. Well, I was so loved up that we couldn't even make the show happen.
I think it's a good reason not to have the self-love show, that you were just in the land of love completely. So how wonderful. Honeymoon. What a beautiful reason. Mm.
That's true. And I agree with you. You know, when it is for the sake of self love,
Uh-huh.
receiving more love and to give more love, then
Uh-huh.
let's cancel the show. but
Exactly.
But not
Brilliant.
today, not today. And today, as you can see on the screen today, we will be talking about the connection between being a hardworking person and self-love. Is there any connection at all? Do you call yourself as a hardworking person? And why do people actually like to be called hardworking people? So Diana,
Mm.
over to you. What do you think about this topic? Is there any connection at all between being hardworking and self love?
Well, I'd like to sever that connection completely, Olga. I actually I have quite a passion about the way that hard work and struggle and strife have been sort of made into this heroic thing. So people are good and they're great and they're to be looked up to if they work really hard and they're stressed and they struggle and they've pushed through. And you know, and I know that we all have struggles, absolutely. And we all work at things, absolutely. However, I think making hard work the hero of the story is really tragic because, in my experience, the more I love myself, the less I work.
Yeah.
The more I love myself, the more I play. And that goes for everything across the board. Even looking at my own deepest, darkest corners of, my being, the parts of me that I might not want to see, those the tough stuff, the stuff that might be called hard work,
Yeah.
it becomes more interesting. It becomes like an adventure. It becomes like an experiment rather than hard work. So I'm all about, and this year has been a theme for me, all about learning to let go of that hard work thing that we think we have to do. Um, and it's kind of a stigma if you're relaxing and if you're enjoying yourself. And for me, the more I love myself and the greater that self love grows deep within me, the less hard work there is. And I must tell you, there's a poem. I don't know if you know of it. It's an English poem about the days of the week. If a child is born on this day, it's so it goes. Monday's child is full of grace. Tuesday's child is fair of face, and it goes through the week. So each day of the week there's a thing. And I was born on a Saturday, and it says Saturday's child works hard for a living. And I'll never forget when I first read the poem when I was a child. I was so cross. I was like, why couldn't I get something else? Because there's one about the child that's born on a certain day travels very far, and there's one that, they're good looking and life is easy and whatever. I was like, no, damn that. But of course, I fell in, just like everyone does, I
Yes.
fell into that trap of thinking that hard work is the way to get recognition. Hard work is the way to get acceptance. Hard work is the way not to be judged. And of course, we crave those things. We crave recognition and acceptance. And so I fell into that trap for a very long time, burnt
Mm.
myself out, got so stressed. There were times, there were years in my daughter's life that if I look back, I could have given more time to relaxing and teaching her a different lesson.
Mm.
It turns out she didn't really need it. I taught her a lot of self love, so she knows all about relaxing. But yeah, I definitely think that um, the things that we call hard work come more naturally when
Yes.
we're loving ourselves. So, for example, if you want to build a bodybuilder body, let's say you want to go into bodybuilding and you want to build beautiful, defined muscles, yes, you're going to show up at the gym every day. To
Mm.
somebody else who doesn't want that, they might be lying on the couch looking at you thinking you're mad. That's hard work.
Yeah.
However, when it comes from a place of self love and you know that this is your journey and this is your passion and this is what your soul wants for yourself and you're in alignment, then it's not hard work.
Mm.
It's a pleasure. Sure, your muscles ache at the end of the day, uh, and your body might disagree with you in the morning when you wake up all stiff. But even that becomes a pleasure because it's part
Mm.
of your aligned vision for what you want for yourself.
Love that. I love how well and beautifully you elaborate on this topic. And I agree with you. When
Mm.
somebody refers to themselves as a hardworking person, that means they are craving love from somebody else. They want to be noticed. They want to be recognized. And whenever you release that need because you give yourself plenty of self-love, because you appreciate yourself, because you respect yourself, then everything becomes just so easy. And it's interesting how you said the more I love myself, the less I want to work. And I love the fact that you said I call it play. Because I think some people would think, oh, so if I'm in love with myself, that means I don't have to work at all. Well, let's just call it play. Let's just don't
Yeah.
call it work, right? It doesn't mean you don't have to work, but it means whatever you do, job, work, business, it becomes a
Yes.
playground of you enjoying what you do.
Mm.
And that's called bliss. To me, that's called bliss.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, there comes an ease with things. And
Yeah.
that, for me, that's a very key sign because the more you love yourself, the more you can see what no longer fits you anymore. I've seen on my journey coming to a point where I realized this is not right for me anymore. That alignment is not there. Because I'm giving myself that love and that acceptance, and then I would realize, well, this is not right for me. So I'm going to shift directions very slightly or in a big way, but whatever I take on is, as you say, it becomes play. It becomes ease and joyful. Joyful, I think, is such a key word here because when we're in alignment with our true self and our deeper self, and we're giving ourselves that love and acknowledgement, then we experience joy in everything we do. And it might be longer hours. Yes, we all have projects that we want to see and we want to meet that deadline, and that's great. But
Mm,
it's not exonerating hard work. It's not,
yeah.
putting that hard work on the pedestal.
Yeah.
It's putting our true essence and our soul in the center of our life and everything that we do.
I love that. I love that. And in fact, I would like to bring my own personal example here because I know probably some people can relate to that. I used to be such a hardworking person. If you would ask anybody, they would say, oh, Olga, she is definitely a hardworking person. So, Olga was the one who works the most. And what's interesting, was I more successful than now? No. That's the truth, right? That's the true
Mm,
story that you don't get more money because you work harder. You don't get more success because you work harder. You got to be aligned
mm,
and you got to allow success to come and you got to work with the pleasure, not to do the
mm,
hard work. And lots of self-help books that say success is a hard work, success is hard work.
mm.
Guess what? For as long as you believe success is a hard work, it's going to be a hard work for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I disagree with that. Success can be easy and effortless when you're aligned and when
Mhm,
you're allowed to receive opportunities and great people coming to your life and money and everything else. In fact, money is just a co-product. Okay. Money
mm,
is just a co-product of whatever you do well. But my personal example is about I used to be a very, very hardworking person. So I would work out, would work hard, and I would get a little bit up.
mm,
And then I would make a wrong decision, financial decision, or whatever decision, and I would just collapse back to the beginning. And I noticed that I was just going in patterns, going up and down, up and down. And I
mm.
realized that the reason why I was doing that because I was proud of myself being the hardworking person. But not only that, I felt like a pro when I was doing that journey
Yeah.
all over again. So that was really rubbing my significance. That made me feel
Mm,
good because I knew exactly what I have to do to go back to that top. But that top was never the top, it was on the way to the top.
yeah.
So I would like to invite everybody who's watching us right now, whether it is live on the replay, think to yourself, do you have repetitive patterns, right? What happens in your life when it comes to work, to success, to relationships? Do you repeat the same pattern? And if
Mm,
you do, it's time to really look at your self-love level because the minute you will start loving yourself more unconditionally, you will stop that pattern as well, because you will learn how to get that love, how to fulfill your love, self-love tank in other ways.
Absolutely. And you'll see those patterns because when we love ourselves, we're willing to see everything. As I
Yes.
said earlier, even the parts that you might think you don't want to see, you're willing to see them because there's love present. And so that is all embracing. And like you said, Olga, just to reiterate your example, what a beautiful example. It's getting into that cycle because we've read it in it's been taught us by our parents, it's been taught us by society, it's even, as you say, in so many self-help books that this reaching the best version of yourself is hard work. You need to put in that hard work. And so that struggle becomes symptomatic of, well, I must be doing okay. I
Yeah.
must be, yeah, I must be getting somewhere because I'm struggling and I'm working hard. I'm working so hard. And like you say, you just keep, when you get to that point, instead of going to your own personal next level, because you've got to keep up the hard work story, you drop yourself down again, create some, like you said, a bad decision or do
Yeah.
something to mess it up and start again. So the hard work cycle continues.
Oh
And
yeah.
for me, I think you said ease, absolutely. A beautiful word that we've both been using is alignment. And then for me, key words here is commitment. So
Yeah.
once you've got that alignment with yourself, and that's a daily thing, as you and I both know, staying in that alignment, getting the alignment, realigning when we need to. But when the commitment is in place, that commitment to self, that commitment to love
Mhm.
self, then these things take on the element of ease. Because that's when suddenly it's like, why would I have to prove anything?
Yeah.
Why do I have to prove anything? I am enough. I am
Yes.
acceptable as I am. And these things that I desire for myself are desires, which is a great thing. It's a great thing. It's like you and I were chatting about marriage and relationships the other day. When
Yeah.
you desire something, surely it's a good thing and it's ease and it brings value to our lives.
Mhm.
So that's when there's commitment and then alignment and that just keeps happening every day. That's when the beautiful fruits that are ease and play and joy come out of that journey.
Beautiful, beautiful. So the bottom line here for everybody who's watching us right now is start observing your patterns.
Mm,
Start noticing, just like Diana says, when you are plantful inside of you, you'll be willing to learn about yourself,
mm,
right? Then
mm.
you'll be open to learn about yourself. Just like when you're a loving person, you openly are ready to listen to other people and their stories. But when you're not, then you prefer to moan and talk about your own difficult and hardworking life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's just make sure that you embrace your journey. You really step onto your journey of
Mm,
self-love. And maybe then we should actually share some tips here as well with people. How can we actually help them to start their self-love journey? Like where's the beginning? Okay, some of them I already recognized. Okay, yes, I do refer to myself a hardworking person. Okay, that's one of the signs. My self-love tank is not full. So
mm.
what we can we say to them so they can start healing themselves and raise their level of self love.
Oh, absolutely. That's a brilliant place to start. Um, and also, before I go there, I just want to reiterate when we see these things about ourselves and we do watch our patterns, it's not automatic that we know what to do. We might see something and we might not know what to do next. And that is when there are so many places and people to reach out to for support and on that journey. A good way to start with self love, though, is I always say they're pillars to self love. So the one is self knowledge. So, like you said, start noticing what do I do repeatedly? What are my patterns? How do I respond to people and situations? Get to know yourself. And for me, that's really just time and energy. So, as you would with a new person, if you meet a friend, you want to get to know them, get to know yourself. And there are so many ways to do that. It's observing behaviors, and then spending quiet time. So, journaling, writing things down, seeing what comes up, acknowledging feelings, so that you're just really, really committing time and energy to getting to know yourself. So, for me, that's a very key factor, getting to know yourself. The second step from that, and they really, really go hand in hand, is to make friends with your inner critic, that judgmental voice. Try and quiet that person down and practice self acceptance. So, whatever comes up as you're getting to know yourself, as you're watching your patterns, catching yourself doing things that you might not want for yourself, you might want better for yourself, accept it first. The first step is really just self acceptance. Because at the end of the day, as you are, with all your patterns, with whatever's going on with you, good, bad, light, dark, ugly, pretty, whatever it is you right here, right now. And the key to self love is definitely self acceptance first. So get to know yourself and accept yourself, and then start caring as you would for a child or a friend, somebody in need that you care about. You would show them care. So you wouldn't say to somebody who fell down and broke their arm, "Oh, how stupid. How could you fall down, you stupid person? Now you've got a broken arm. Of course you've got a broken arm. You deserve a broken arm." You wouldn't do that. So why would you do that to yourself? So start caring for yourself. And self care is a word that's been used so much, but it plays out in these little ways, starting with that inner critic, that voice in your head that tells you the stupid fool for falling and breaking your arm. Change that tone, change that voice with yourself. Practice being gentle with yourself. And then, of course, the other self care things come in. So start choosing what is best for yourself. And there are the obvious ones, which is physical. So everyone always jumps to self care being a physical thing, like bubble baths and nutrition and exercise. But what about the self care in choosing what's right for you with your time, with your energy, and thinking, just giving yourself that moment to make the best decision for yourself as if you are somebody that the higher you is looking after. So you're getting to know yourself, you're accepting yourself, and then you're really caring. You care about this person. So that means not necessarily just saying yes to everything and everybody. It means checking in. What works for me? What doesn't? And then, as I said, warming to that critic. We all have one, and just trying to get him or her, whatever the persona is, to change the tone a bit and be more gentle with yourself. So it's watching patterns and thoughts as well, very, very much. I think that's quite a lot. I'm not sure.
It is, yes. But you know what? What you said there is exactly what we always do to other people. And
Yeah.
it's interesting whenever you ask, and I'm sure you ask the same question to your clients, because when I ask this question, okay, how can you show yourself more self-love? They always sit there like thinking, oh, now I got to think about it. Okay,
Mm,
let me phrase the question. How would you show your love to your spouse, to your friend,
there
to
you
your
go.
family member? Or
Mm,
I would run a bath for them, or I would take them
mm.
out for a meal, or I would buy them something. Well, here we go. Here we
There
go.
we go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just show yourself that love, which you would show
Mm,
to other people in the same way as you would do it to them, do it to yourself. Okay.
mm.
Okay. If you would do a massage for somebody, go for a massage somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay. So you can always find ways. But the most important things is to really fulfill your love tank with love and affection and joy. Because then when you prioritize yourself and then you become plentiful, you'll be able to help others.
Absolutely. And not only that, as you and I both know, Olga, as we fill our own love tank, we
Oh, yeah.
attract that same energy. So if it's caring energy, that's what we attract. If it's love energy, that's what we attract. If it's putting energy into our own passions, the things that light us up, we attract more of that. And
Yes.
so, yes, not only are we able to help others, but everything just becomes richer and richer, the whole life experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Diana, we can talk about this for days, not just for
Yeah,
hours, that's for sure. But let's not keep our people for too long
true,
because
true.
attention span is not that long with people. We'd rather give them
Mm.
more time to show some appreciation and some self love to themselves. So, question to everybody who is watching us right now, do let us know, how are you going to show yourself some self love today? What are you going to do for yourself? And when it comes to your work, since today we spoke about being hardworking persons and self love, the connection between those two, ask yourself, are you a hardworking person, right? Do you like to be referred as a hardworking person? And how can you replace that? how that can be different. So please share below the video, inspire each other. I'm sure your answers will make other people just think, and they will get inspired and they will come up with their own answers as well. So thank you everybody who was watching us. Before we finish off, Diana, do you want to tell us how you can help other people and how they can get in touch with you?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Olga. Yes, so the easiest way to get in touch with me and my programs and everything that I offer is via my website, which is dianagrant.com. It's really, really simple. Um, Otherwise, I'm on all the social media platforms and I'm very active, I think. I'm active every day on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Under my name, Diana Grant. And the key factor is that you'll see something about self love or the self love coach on all of my profiles. But I would love to hear from you. I have programs that are self driven that you can do online just by yourself in the comfort of your own space. I have group work programs where you're actually part of group coaching, also online, but it's an amazing experience. I also do one on one work. I do events, workshops, and speaking. So, yeah, get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you.
Of course, you are all over the internet because you have to. Because we need to have more Diana around the world because she spreads the love and she's teaching other people to raise their self love level as well. But thank you so much for the work you do, Diana, because what you do
Thank you.
is really special. What you do is exactly what the world needs right now. We
Thank you.
spent about 2 years in the lack of self-love because there was
Mm,
so much scarcity. We spent 2 years in the lack of seeing each other and sharing the love with each other. So it's really time to step up and really take care of ourselves. Thank you for your wisdom
absolutely.
today. Thank you for your tips to people
Thank
about
you.
how they can raise their own self-love levels. And we definitely will see you next month, first week of the month.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Olga. What a wonderful conversation. And thank you to everybody who's watching. And I'll see you next month.
Ah, absolutely. So have a wonderful and blissful, full of self love afternoon and evening wherever you are in the world. Take care, everyone.